Hello students, up till now we have seen rectifiers, half wave rectifier, full wave bridge rectifier, and we have discussed all the numerical formulas regarding the rectifiers. Today we will discuss on some important definitions regarding the power supply. Starting with the first, what is meant by rectification? Rectifier converts bidirectional current into unidirectional current. The output is pulsating DC. That is, it always changes from 0 to maximum value in one direction. Such type of conversion is called as rectification. So when AC is converted into DC, this process is actually known as rectification. Second definition is forward current rating of a diode. It is the maximum forward current that a diode can handle without damaging. It means that whenever the diode is in forward bias mode, at that time its capability is denoted by forward current rating of the diode. Here we have taken an example for a diode IN4007. Current rating for this diode is 1 ampere. So if output voltage of rectifier is 4.5 volt and suppose the load resistance connected is 10 ohm, then the current through the diode can be calculated as I equal to 4.5 volt divided by 10 ohm, that is 0.45 amperes. So diode with more than 0.5 amperes of forward current rating should be selected. It means that if a current rating of a diode is 0.5, then the capability of the diode to withstand with this maximum current should be higher. So that is known as the forward current rating of a diode. Third thing is peak inverse voltage rating. Now this rating is the maximum reverse voltage across the diode when it is non-conducting. That means how much voltage can be perceived by the diode when it is in reverse bias mode. So peak inverse voltage rating represent the maximum voltage that a diode can withstand with it during the negative half cycle. This voltage must be less than the breakdown voltage of the diode. For bridge rectifier and half wave rectifier, the peak inverse voltage rating of a diode is the maximum voltage. But for center tap full wave rectifier, the peak inverse voltage rating must be the double the maximum voltage. Moving to fourth definition, that is rectifier efficiency. This value gives the idea about percentage of total input AC voltage is converted into useful DC power. It is defined as the ratio of output DC power delivered at the load to input AC power from the secondary. We might have gone through the formula of gain. Gain is nothing but output quantity upon input quantity. In the same way, rectifier efficiency also calculated. It is denoted by eta. It is equal to output DC power delivered to the load divided by input AC power from the secondary. That means eta is the ratio of output power upon input power for a rectifier. For half wave rectifier, efficiency can be calculated by formula of like this: 0.406 divided by 1 plus RD by RL, where RD is the forward resistance of the diode, and this resistance must be smaller than the load resistance. The maximum eta of half wave rectifier is 40.6%. Now in case of full wave rectifier, the efficiency eta is calculated as 0.812 divided by 1 plus RD by RL. Here again the RD is the forward resistance of the diode and it should be smaller than load resistance. The maximum rectification efficiency for full wave rectifier is 81.2%, which is double that of the half wave rectifier. So in this way, from the rectifier efficiency formula or its value for half wave rectifier and full wave rectifier, we can say that the full wave rectifier is more efficient than that of the half wave rectifier. Now the fifth definition is ripple factor. The output of rectifier contains AC as well as the DC components. As it is a rectifier, it should have to convert AC into DC So we need only DC at the output, but the unwanted AC component is present there, and this component we may call that as a fluctuations, and this fluctuation is also called as ripples. This ripples can be calculated by ripple factor, and this is the measure of purity of DC output voltage of rectifier. So it is defined as root mean square value of AC component divided by average or DC value. That means RMS value upon DC value. This is the formula to calculate the ripple factor. For half wave rectifier it is 1.21, and for full wave rectifier it is 0.482. Thus the half wave rectifier, the ripple current exceeds the DC current. This shows that the half wave rectifier is poor converter for conversion of AC into DC. We have just seen some definitions of rectifier or power supply. In that definitions we have seen the ripple factor. So ripple factor is nothing but the AC component present in the output of rectifier. So this pulsating DC is also known as ripple. So this ripple should not be present at the output of DC voltage. So DC should be pure. That means its magnitude as well as the direction should be constant. When we rectify any AC voltage, we will only convert AC into DC. That means bidirectional current it is converted into unidirectional. But we want a straight DC line for conversion of AC into DC. So this voltage must be constant. So it should be ripple free or fluctuation free. So that is why this should be converted into straight DC. And this conversion can be done using the circuits which are known as filter circuits. Using the filter circuits, the unwanted AC is removed. Filter circuits are used to block the AC and to allow the DC at the output. Therefore, filter circuit is necessary after rectification. The main components which are used in filter circuits are capacitor and inductor. These two components offer reactance to AC and DC components depending on the frequency. By using these two components alternately or with the combination, we can construct the filter circuits, and using this filter circuit we can get the pure DC. Before starting with the types of filters, we must understand how these two components converts a fluctuated AC into a constant DC. Let us take an example of capacitor. If you consider the reactance of capacitance, reactance means it is the opposition offered by the capacitance. That term is called as reactance. For capacitor, the reactance is given by formula Xc equal to 1 upon twice pi Fc, or we can say that Xc equal to 1 upon omega C, where omega is twice pi F. Suppose we have connected AC current to the capacitor. Let us see what happened to the opposition or reactance of capacitor. Suppose the input voltage having the frequency of 100 Hz. 100 Hz means generally in India we use 50 Hz of AC voltage for power supply. So here the frequency of AC is 50 Hz. If you are using the full wave rectifier, this frequency get doubled at the output. So that is why we have considered frequency equal to 100 Hz here. If you calculate the Xc, 1 upon 2 into 3.14 into 100 into 1000 into 10 raised to power minus 6. That means we have used a capacitor of value 1000 microfarad. Now 100 is the frequency. If you calculate it, it comes to be 0.00159932. If you see, this value is near about 0. So we can consider that the reactance for capacitor, if the frequency is 100 Hz, it is found to be 0. Hence, the opposition by the capacitor to AC current is near about 0. So the AC can easily pass through the capacitor. So this was for AC in case of capacitor. Now consider the DC. Again, we know that the DC has no cycle. So if you consider the definition of frequency, it is number of cycles per second, but here the cycles are 0, that means there is a straight line, so no magnitude is changing there, so that is why we will consider the frequency as 0 Hz. So for DC the frequency is always considered as 0. If you calculate the capacitive reactance here, it is again 1 upon twice pi fc, where f is the 0, so the numerator will be 0, so 1 upon 0 is always infinity. Hence we can say that when DC current is applied to the capacitor, the opposition by the capacitor, that means the reactance, is found to be infinity. Infinity means it has higher opposition. So that is why when DC current is applied to a capacitor, the capacitor will block that DC current. So that is why we can say if capacitor is used as for AC voltage, then the opposition is 0, and if it is DC, the opposition is infinity. So capacitor passes AC and blocks DC, we can say this. Now the second component is inductor. The inductive reactance, that is the opposition offered by the inductance, is given by XL equal to twice pi f into L. That means the frequency and opposition is directly proportional here. If you consider the AC voltage, the frequency will be 100 Hz. If you calculate the XL, it will have some finite value. So when AC is applied to the inductor, it will be opposite by the inductor depending on its value. The unit of inductance of an inductor is Henry. We have taken 100 Henry of inductance here, so that is why the value is found to be 628. So 628 has some finite value. So when AC is applied to the inductor, the AC is opposed by the inductor. Now for DC, again inductive reactance XL equal to twice pi FL. So here suppose DC is voltage is applied to the inductor, then the frequency of DC is always 0. So that is why the XL equal to twice pi FL, in which the frequency is 0. So whole term comes to be 0. So opposition by the inductor for DC is 0. That means the DC current can easily pass through the inductor and AC is blocked here. So if you compare these two components, their properties for AC and DC are complement with each other. So using these properties, we can construct the filter circuits. Now back to the filter circuits. There are 5 types of filters can be constructed using the combination of these two components. First of all, let us see the capacitor filter. The pulsating DC is applied across the capacitor. So the capacitor charges to peak value of pulsating DC. That means when the AC voltage is applied, when AC voltage magnitude is started increasing from 0, in the same way this voltage is applied to the capacitor and capacitor also start charging exponentially. As the output of voltage start decreasing towards the 0 volt, after reaching the peak value of sinusoidal voltage, the voltage will start decreasing towards 0 value. At that time capacitor also starts discharging, but the capacitor here used has higher capacitance. That means in case of formula we have taken 1000 microfarad of capacitor. So here the discharging period of capacitor is much higher. So due to which what is happening, the discharging time constant is much greater than the time period of output signal. So that is why it will take higher time to completely discharge the capacitor. So the voltage across the capacitor will slightly decreases, and the next cycle of AC input voltage again charges it back to peak value, and this will happen again and again because the cycles are repeating. The capacitor will never discharge completely. So we can see from the diagram that the capacitor voltage is near about the straight line. So hence capacitor can't discharge completely. So it loses only small part of its charge, and the next positive peak arrives which recharges the capacitors to peak value. In this way capacitor voltage is maintained at the maximum value. Thus the load has pure DC. However, there is very small ripple caused by charging and discharging of the capacitor. but it can be removed if you use another capacitor after this. So in this way the capacitor filter will work. Second thing, if you consider the formalization, as we have already discussed, that the capacitor will bypasses the AC voltage and it will block the DC. So that property is also used here. So due to which the only AC will be blocked here and the remaining DC will continue flowing towards the load resistance. Now the second filter is the inductor filter. As we know that inductor has a property of opposing any change in the current flowing through it. Thus it opposes the AC flow and allows DC flow. Whenever the current through the inductor tends to change, the electromotive force is induced in it. This electromotive force induced prevents the current from changing its sign. The reactance of inductor is given by XL equal to twice pi FL, increases with the increase in frequency. So it blocks the AC component. For DC, the inductive reactance is 0. So the resistance of coil is in series with the load resistance, which is very small. Hence the DC current flow through the load resistance and the pure DC voltage is available at the output. This filter can be used only with the full wave rectifier because its operation depends on the current flowing through it. So higher the current, greater the filtering action. The drawback of this filter circuit is inductor are costly and they are bulky. So this was about the inductor. What is actually happening here, that we can say that the AC voltage is blocked here, but in the capacitor filter it was bypassed towards ground through the capacitor, but here AC is blocked here. The main reason is that whenever the AC voltage is applied to the inductor, the electromotive force generated inside the inductor has opposite polarity with the applied voltage. So due to which, if the current is moving from left to right, the electromotive force has a current which is moving from right to left and having the same magnitude. So applied current and the current generated by the electromotive force, they are getting cancelled here. So that is why we can say that the AC is blocked here, but actually the AC, applied AC, it is actually cancelled with the electromotive force generated inside the inductor for AC. And for DC, coil will be just a conductor for DC current, so it will directly flow through the coil and will move towards the load resistance. So in this way the filtering action is done using inductor filter. Now the third filter is the LC filter. It is also called as choke input filter or L section filter. In this filter, both the components, that is inductor and as well as the capacitors, are used. It is used whenever the high DC voltage is required. In this filter, inductor is in series and the capacitor is in shunt with the load. For DC, the resistance of inductor is very small, so DC current can easily pass through it. While in capacitor, the DC, it appears to be an open circuit. Hence, entire load current will flow through the load resistance. The ripple frequency of AC component is 100 Hz. For the inductive reactance, XL equal to twice pi FL is high. So AC current has difficulty in passing through the inductor. Even if AC current manages to pass through the inductor, it will flow towards the low reactance of the capacitor rather than load. Thus the ripple factor are greatly reduced at the output as the inductive reactance is greater than that of the capacitive reactance. So here first filtering action is done by the inductor and second filtering action is done by the capacitor. So in this way we will get a pure DC at the load resistance. Fourth is the combination of capacitor and inductor again. This filter is known as CLC filter or capacitive input filter or pi section filter. You can see the diagram, two capacitor and inductor in between. So that design will look like a letter pi. So that is why it is called as pi section filter. This filter is used for heavy loads and high output. The first capacitor offers low reactance to the AC components and high reactance to the DC components. Therefore, it bypasses the AC towards ground and allows only DC to flow through the inductor. The inductor again offers high reactance to AC and almost zero resistance for DC. Thus, it blocks AC and allows DC to pass through it. In this way, the second capacitor behaves similar as that of the first, that is, it bypasses AC component and blocks DC. Thus, the load has almost pure DC at the output. So, in this way, CLC filter will work. Now, the last filter is the CRC filter. Just like CLC filter or pi section filter, inductor is replaced with only resistance. As we have used already two capacitors for filtering action, they will almost do the same, that they will bypasses the AC and will block the DC. For first capacitor, almost very low AC will present at the input of inductor. So that is why inductor is actually dropping some voltage there. So instead of using inductor, as inductor is very bulky and it is very costly, so instead of using the inductor, we can use the resistance that will drop some AC there. So in this way, only resistance can do this. So here inductor is replaced with resistance. Again, same filtering action is done by the second capacitor. So in this way, this filtering action will be same as that of the CLC filter. So that is why resistance is used to decrease the cost and the size of the circuit. So in this way, these filters will work to convert a pulsating DC into pure DC. Thank you.